Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. The month of January international school scene is always busy with job applications and then the interviews. So to help you along with that, I've enlisted the help of some of my colleagues to tackle that question, what's it really like to teach in Dubai?
I am approaching my second year now of teaching in Dubai.
I've been teaching Dubai now for 2 years.
I've been teaching in Dubai for 5 years. So this is my 5th or 6th year. 3 years there, 2 years there. This is my 5th year teaching in Dubai.
So started about 18 months ago. So this is midway through the second year.
I've been teaching in Dubai for 24 years. The best thing about teaching here is you meet so many different people that you wouldn't normally have the opportunity to meet from different backgrounds, cultures, nationalities, and you really do get to make a lot of friends.
I've thoroughly enjoyed the general teaching. The kids are great. I like being able to try some sort of more adventurous things over here than I would in the UK. I love having laptops all the time. That's added a new dimension to my teaching. And there's generally, compared to the schools I taught in England, just a happier atmosphere.
Well, one of the best things about teaching in Dubai, I have to say, is the weather. Without a doubt, sun all year round. It's amazing. Coming out here with my family, I think it's amazing the amount of opportunities there is to do things as a family. So many places to go, so many things to see. It's a very family-friendly place, and the food here is amazing. So yeah, definitely I think in terms of as a teacher, you do need to have that time to unwind and sort of just switch off, and Dubai does facilitate that in many ways. So, and it's a very safe country as well. So that always helps.
For me, I think the best thing about teaching in Dubai is just the access to technology that I've had. Certainly when we went into lockdown, from the very first lesson, I could use Teams, I use OneNote. I don't know how much technologies you've been using in the UK schools, but I'm definitely up there. I've been using an interactive whiteboard for many years. And I use a lot of technology that I think I'm using because I'm in good schools in Dubai that have the money to spend on these technology.
The people you get to work with, definitely the best. So the other teachers, because when you first move here, you don't know anyone. Well, you might know 1 or 2 people, but definitely won't know people in your school. Maybe you know 1 person in your school, but everyone does kind of chip in, everybody gets together to help out. If you're new, you know, you get to go to parties with people, meet new people, make friends that you maybe never would have spoken to before.
That's a good question. What's the hardest thing? So the hardest thing about teaching in Dubai is getting my kids out of bed to come into work with me, because they are not happy about what time I drag them out of bed at 6:40, whereas in the UK they would get another hour or so.
I would say possibly the constant, very quick turnaround in policies and procedures, whether it comes from the government or schools just have to adapt to requirements. Quick turnaround in how things should be done or how rules can change very quickly. You just have to adapt really.
I suppose the most difficult thing about teaching in Dubai is how transient things can be. People come and go often, and you have to be quite resilient with that. And I think as well, especially during the current climate, it's very difficult being away from family and friends. But the good does outweigh the bad.
I've learned loads about different ways of connecting with different types of students. That's the biggest thing, I think, is I was teaching in an inner city school in Manchester. Getting those underachieving boys engaged in a subject like geography, which they probably think, oh, it's boring, it's just maps. So that was hard in the UK, but out here, you're kind of putting those skills to a whole new level, because you've got students who are all from all around the world that only know about their country, only know about those specific areas that they've visited before, and trying to, relate to the personal geographies of those really makes it a bit more interesting, but very challenging.
I think teaching internationally has definitely improved my teaching skills and the strategies I have within the classroom, whereas I've been fortunate to teach in schools where classes are setted. So I'm very much able to focus on my content, my theory. I think teaching in schools where I can actually just teach has made me a better teacher.
I suppose I've learned I've learned a lot about the different cultures and how the different students are quite proud of their cultures, and you do notice the different nationalities and the different ways that they sort of act, and it's generally in a good way. Yeah, and how you do get quite a lot of pride for the individual nations, which is really nice to see.
I think there is a huge misconception that we mostly work very little and we spend most of our hours out on the beach. However, the hours are longer than what I would be working in the UK. And I suppose as well the fact that policies can change at the drop of a hat, and we have to be flexible and resilient with that.
So definitely people think that we don't work hard and that we spend all our time on the beach and we have all of this loads of money for doing not very much. I work really hard, and all the teachers I know, we work extremely hard.
That it's easy. I'm actually only 19 years old and I look like this. No, it's yeah, I think people think that it's easy. I don't think it's easier. I think there's more pressure, definitely more pressure, because you're under more pressure to get the better results. So that's the biggest thing. But it seems a lot happier and you feel a lot better about yourself because you've got the weather. As soon as you finish work, you know, it's still sunny outside, you can go for walks, you can go to the pool, you can, you know, there's a work-life balance that's better, but that doesn't mean you work any less. If anything, you're working more because of the pressure you're under.
Again, going back to the students, they are not all sort of perfect students. They're full of character. They will try it on. You will kind of have some issues. Again, nothing like I've ever seen in the UK. They're nice issues to deal with, but they're still kids. They still need, you know, they're still demanding. They're still challenging in a nice way though.
Well, as a business and economics teacher, I can tell you that it's probably the idea that when you come out here, you'll be a millionaire straight away. It doesn't quite work out like that. I mean, depending on where you're coming from in the UK, you probably will be earning more here, but the cost of living here is also expensive. So as long as you sort of have a nice spreadsheet and you do all your numbers and just make sure, you know, you sort of budget for everything, you probably are most likely better off here. But the idea that you'll come here and you'll only work 6 hours a day and you'll have all the time to enjoy the beaches and all the other, you know, attractions, it's not quite true. You do end up working harder here. The demands are a lot more, but then the payoff for when you do relax, you tend to enjoy a lot more. So just be prepared when you come, not to think that you'll be, you know, owning a G-Wagon and buying your yacht from day one. It takes a while, but you'll get there.
And that's it, guys. Massive thank you to my colleagues for giving up their time and sharing their experiences and thoughts about what it's like to actually work in Dubai. If you found it useful, if you've enjoyed it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for me. If you are someone who's thinking about moving out to Dubai in the near future, or if you're someone who's accepted a job ready for the new academic year and you've got any questions, leave them below in the comments for me and I'll come back to you. But other than that, thanks for watching, stay safe, and I will see you in the next video. View Skypes, no Skypes, who's Skypes anymore? No one Skypes anymore, it's all Zooms.